Welcome to Easy Riff of the Week. Thanks for checking out my channel. Today we're going to be breaking down Walk This Way by Aerosmith from Toys in the Attic, the record from 1975. There's a great background to how this riff came to be. This is one of these riffs that was written on stage during a sound check. I believe it goes in 1974. In December, Joe Perry was listening to a lot of Meters. If you're not familiar, the Meters are a great American instrumental funk group from New Orleans. In particular, listening to one of their songs a lot called Sissy Strut. That sounds like this. A great funky instrumental that really kind of features sort of a bluesy syncopated line, and that was going through his head and was the inspiration that one day when he kind of came up with this during a sound check. To break this riff down a little bit, this is one of these great rock and roll riffs that's built around the E blues scale. So many of you know what that is. For somebody who might not, real quickly, the E blues scale would sound like this. And that key blues note is this note right here that's connecting those two in a chromatic fashion, or scale degrees: root, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, flat 5, 5, flat 7, 1. And so all the notes in this riff come from the E blues scale. One of the key elements to this riff that makes it both awesome to listen to and hard to play is the syncopation of the rhythm. So right out of the gate, you have 4/16 notes fired at you right away, and you have this funky move, which is one of the hardest but most common moves on guitar you want to master on your way to rock stardom. And this is a move where you roll from the tip of the finger to the pad of the finger. This tip pad technique is absolutely necessary to play fast riffs like this. The other key element I'd want to point out here is the picking. You want to keep alternate, but you want to be very aware of the muting of the pick. So as soon as you finish that 4-note run, you'll notice I'm kind of doing two things here. I'm muting with my right hand and my left hand. And that's one of the key secrets to making this riff sound really good, is that muting and syncopation. So in this case, absolutely, the silences are just as important as the rest. You can see the fingering here, all in open position, so that tip pad is with the middle finger. The last little bit I'll say is, many of you also probably know this song was remade in 1986 by the famous hip-hop group RUN DMC, and there's a famous producer, Rick Rubin, who's one of my favorite people in all of music. Basically was able to get RUN DMC and Aerosmith together to produce this song, and I will save you this long version of the story. But the short version is, this song became one of the most iconic moments in the mid-'80s, bringing together the rap audiences and the rock audiences on this brand new television platform on cable TV called MTV, that really sort of set the stage for a whole future generation of musicians to feel emboldened to both experiment with rock and hip-hop. And so you think of artists like Linkin Park and Rage Against the Machine, or Two That Jumped in My Brain, and many other artists that were inspired by this crossover. Not to mention to bring together an African-American audience and a white audience, and introduce and blend the musics together. I'll include a link to that classic video in the description below. Well, thanks again. We hope you enjoyed Riff of the Week. Practice slowly, practice perfectly. Perfect practice makes perfect. We'll see you next time.